reached Phantom, that I reached 43. I should be able to see all of the story quests by now. Operation Ophidian, this one. We must work together if we hope to win this war, but maybe we should also work with the prisoner in Stalgard. My enemy's enemy is my friend. Okay, so defend the imprisoned Technicus in fiery cell. Perfect. We got the quest, people. This is the main quest, right? If it's purple, it's the main quest. Yeah, it's the main quest. This one. People, as I was mentioning, in terms of the topic of analysis for today, that I was mentioning as we farmed the dungeon, the idea is that the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics is quite curious in this game. It's above average, without a doubt, because of what I said, because the game successfully manages to create both an offensively and defensively, both an offensive and defensive, usage of the elemental resistance system of the gameplay mechanics, effectively incorporating 100% of the gameplay mechanics, as I've said. Think about, as I've said, Borderlands, or... yeah, Borderlands is the perfect example. You could think about World of Warcraft or others, but let's use Borderlands. In Borderlands, you just use the elemental system offensively. The player deals different types of elemental damage, fire, shock, whatever, etc. Slag, they have different naming conventions, but it's pretty much the same. Well, I thought you were saying Mechanoid to head. I'm ready to be reborn. Alright, we have to protect him. I always love this because it's a perfect influence of the level design on the gameplay mechanics. I love missions in which you have to actually defend it off the attack wave. You're not from the court at all. I always love this because quests in which you have to protect a scortee, a third element of the gameplay mechanics, in that sense, they are an amazing influence of the level design on the gameplay mechanics, because you could imagine that I could have beaten that fight easily, which I did, without any kind of issue, and then, even regardless of that, my escortee, the element that I'm trying to protect, could get killed, creating a different source of the difficulty and influence of the level design on the gameplay mechanics. You can survive a fight, but your escortee can die, and because of that, a natural source of difficulty, an extra natural source of difficulty is created. I love that. You're not from the board at all, you're with the enemy. Listen, you got the wrong guy. I've never been interested in this war. All I've ever cared about is my work. All I care about is progress. The Dark Dwarves only care about the dragon. You think dragons value progress? Ask about the dragon. It was always a religious thing. Let them worship their dragon idols, I thought, being a man of science. I never thought much about it. That is, until the dragons came to Stalgard. No, I don't like it. And I have no intention of doing the dragon's bidding. Okay. Go to Stalgard and ask and tell Janus Folk about what you've learned. Perfect, it was the fox. Basically, I smell boss fight by the end of it. Pretty much, people. As I was mentioning, precisely, Drakensang Online uses the elemental system of the game both offensively and defensively, contrary to Borderlands, for example. But the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics is used passively. That means that the elemental resistances that you see here, they are static, determined by the gear of your character. And you must be thinking, well, Eraser, that's pretty much how all isometric action RPG games work, for example. Or the elemental damage that you deal is determined by the abilities. In that sense, sorry, I think I said the offensive one. The defensive one is passive, is static, is completely static, because the resistances are not, it's the opposite of Sacred 2. Because the resistances are determined only by your gear. In Sacred 2, as I said, you have some relics that you have to actively switch, so the defensive portion of the gameplay mechanics is static and passive. In this game, it's the opposite. The defensive portion is passive, determined by the gear. In Secret 2 is active. You have to actively change your resistances with some relics that you activate and deactivate. And the type of... But I wanted to focus on the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics of this game. The type of elemental damage is determined by the ability, not the gear, not the weapon that you are using. It's determined by the abilities. That is unique in terms of the innovation category of the analysis that I mentioned. Is unique in this game. I cannot think of other isometric action RPG games in which the elemental type, the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics, is determined by the abilities rather than the gear, rather than the weapon the character uses. In Secret 2, for example, is determined by the weapon. In Diablo is determined by the weapon. In Titan Quest, I think it's the case that this game inherited it from. Then we need to play Titan Quest. Is the one that this game inherited it from, because I think in Titan Quest is the one in which the abilities determine the type of damage. I think it's Titan Quest, but in the rest of them, it's the weapon. Just so you see the difference, I think it's... I know it's a quite abstract topic to think about in that sense. I think it's a quite abstract topic to think about, but it's important because it determines the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics. Oh, right, sorry, I got lost in thought as I usually do. Kharkov will be useful to us, and I think you will be too. Life is strange sometimes, but you seem to take it in stride. I think Kharkov is ready to change sides. Regardless, find out as much as you can from him. Every bit of information matters. What am I saying? You've done this before. You know the drill. Good luck. Gotta go. I got my own project to take care of. Okay, the Underman. What's that freaking currency that he gave me? I think it's a currency that I already got a bit last time. It was some shit like that you have to activate it, I think. Let me check it. A second. There. Let me check. The inventory is really painful here to deal with. This one is a boosted item. Level 73. No, we're not using boosted items. No, I'll sell it. We're not using boosted items. It fucks up the difficulty for the bosses then. Alright, whatever. Yeah, inventory full. Whatever. Then District told me there's an event in which you can expand your silly inventory easily. Okay, as I was mentioning, the abstract complexity is enhanced by this, because think about it in terms of the positive aspects. The developers could have just given you types of elemental damage based on the weapon you have, right? Imagine that, completely different. Imagine that this, instead of saying their damage, it says fire damage, some that you loot say frost damage, some that you loot say arcane damage, lightning damage, whatever. Right? That's generally the system of isometric action RPG games in a lot of cases for the active portion of the combat, of the gameplay mechanics. If that's the case, whenever that's the case, to be more precise, then it's a passive offensive system of the gameplay mechanics that lowers the abstract complexity. So if there's one positive aspect that the combat of this game has, is precisely that one. The point of innovation, it redefines that aspect of the gameplay mechanics. I need to remember it for the final analysis. So let me 1 second, that I want to read the story and I'll get into it precisely. My last invention was a machine that could harness the magical energy of crystals. The dragons heard about my work and ordered that it be used for their own project instead of a normal work machine. Steal the chest for the workshop foreman. I couldn't tell you. All I know is that they want to make crystal power converter. The workshop foreman must have got it on the key by now. Alright. Operation Ophidian. Okay. So where? Ah, over there. Okay. So that's the one feature I wanted to highlight about the game today. Probably the most positive aspect of the gameplay mechanics and the biggest source of innovation of the game. If you pay attention, or if you play Diablo or other isometric action RPG games, you will notice that, as I've said, that Beta Workshop format by tinkering with his control panel. What? Ah, there we go, there hit. There, you can see the resistances. Well, here I had the perfect resistances against him, the perfect damage against him. But, as I've said, the source of the elemental damage is magnificently executed in terms of the innovation. If I have to highlight something positive. Currency, there we go. Why? Because it forces the player. And what is the consequence of having an active offensive system? In this case, just like I praise Sacred 2 so much for having an active defensive system. In this case, this game has an active offensive system of the elemental intricacies of the gameplay mechanics. In that sense, what's the positive aspect? That regardless if it's the defensive or the offensive system, it forces the player to actively switch the type of damage that he's about to deal. In that sense, there's no one size fits them all in that sense, and that adds a lot of dynamism to the gameplay mechanics. It forces the player to be on his toes. It forces the player to actively care about the elemental portion of the gameplay mechanics. In the case of Sacred 2, the defensive one, because you could get one shotted in that sense, killed in one blow. If you didn't activate the correct elemental resistance, it was the exact opposite of this game. In this game, if you don't activate the correct type of elemental damage actively, you don't deal much damage to the bosses, and they can regenerate their shields, and they can respawn, and a lot of things can happen. In that sense, the economic portion there plays a role that we need to analyze some other day, because the fact that the bosses regenerate their shields is directly tied perfectly with this aspect if you think about it. The fact that the active portion of the gameplay mechanics is the one in which the developers put the emphasis to enhance is magnificent. Because precisely you have to beat the proportion of shield regeneration of the bosses in boss fights. That is the key. So in that sense, that was properly executed by them, without a doubt. Alright, Operation Ophidian. Give me the chest. It's not locked, it's empty. This can only mean that my crystal power converter has already been installed. But in what? Actually, that doesn't even matter. What matters is that someone else is profiting from my invention. I had generators that produce crystal energy built all over Stalgard. Destroy them and bring the Dragon's project to a screeching halt. My invention will also be returned to its rightful owner. Okay, looks like we'll have to do a lot of stuff for this guy. What the? 274 Underman received, that's a lot. And what's this currency? Glyph of Power. Glyph of Power. I think this was one of the currencies, because now this shit blinks and I have that thing there. They must be for crafting, I bet. Oh well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, people. Then we can deal with that. Okay, as I was mentioning, the important part. So, I bet you can see by now how important it is to care and analyze the elemental system. Because as I've said, I will make this parallelism, this comparison constantly. because it's an absolute paradox, people, if you think about it. Sacred 2, the other German developed rival game of the Drakensang franchise, developed an elemental system and used it actively in the defensive portion of the gameplay mechanics. Drakensang develops an elemental system and uses actively in the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics. It's absolutely fascinating if you think about it. It's absolutely fascinating. Show what you've learned. You're a natural at reconnaissance, my friend. Was this stream disconnected? Was this shit? Stream disconnected? There we go. I don't know why it says that shit from time to time. It says that shit from time to time. Stream disconnects, stream disconnects. It doesn't disconnect, it's smooth as butter. There we go. You're a natural at reconnaissance, my friend. I can give you the explosives I found to destroy the generators. I have to go now. We never spoke. Okay, perfect. What was the other one? This one. Let's keep going. Destroy 10 interior generators. 0 out of 10. Let's go. So as I was mentioning precisely, people, that is the key. That is the key. That is the key. In that sense. Sacred 2 uses the elemental system in a defensive way actively. You have to constantly, actively swap your resistances. Okay, the player changes his resistances actively. In this game, it's the exact opposite. You switch your elemental damage actively through the abilities that you activate. Because of the abilities that you activate, it's absolutely fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating that you can have the two opposite poles, the two opposite sides, well, the two opposite poles of the spectrum, or the two sides of the same coin, both in German developed games in that sense. So I wonder if they actually looked at each other what the other one was doing, because also the release dates were quite similar. So yes, pretty much that's the idea. So in terms of the innovation, I wanted to highlight this aspect. You have to highlight. I had to highlight this aspect. I wanted to highlight this aspect because it's something that reviewers generally don't pay attention to. Drakensang Online has a quite unique active system in the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics, because the elemental type of damage is determined by your abilities, not by your weapons or gear passively. You have to actively switch it through the abilities. The source of the elemental damage is the ability that you activate. So yes, pretty much, pretty much, people. I wanted to highlight that as an amazing element of the gameplay mechanics. Pretty much. In that sense, I wanted to highlight that because it's a quite unique feature. In terms of innovation, I haven't seen it done in any other isometric action RPG, so it's an amazing idea, and I wanted to highlight, last but not least, that relationship with the boss fight mechanics in that sense. With the boss fight mechanics in that sense. So yes, pretty much. The idea is that what was it? As I said, that in the boss fights they regenerate the shield. They regenerate their shields automatically. The boss in the boss fights, the bosses, and that is directly tied to the active system that the developers chose deliberately for what I have been mentioning, for selecting the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics as the main active source of the elemental system. You have to actively change the type of elemental damage that you deal. It's not passive, it's not determined by a weapon, it's not determined by any other aspect of the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics. It's the exact opposite of Sacred 2. It's fascinating that we have the two opposite sides, the two opposite poles of the spectrum, basically, in Sacred 2 and Drakensang Online. In this comparison, we have in Sacred 2 a game that forces the player to adopt an active APM, actions per minute, gameplay style in the defensive portion of the gameplay mechanics, because you have the relics that I was mentioning previously, people, precisely. You have the relics and you actively switch your resistances in Sacred 2. In Drakensang Online, it's exactly the opposite. You switch, instead of your elemental resistances, you actively switch your type of elemental damage. You actively switch your type of elemental damage constantly. So, in Sacred 2, the defensive portion of the gameplay mechanics is actively executed, and in Drakensang Online, the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics is actively executed. It's a fascinating phenomenon, people. It's a fascinating phenomenon because they are both German-developed games in the very same window of release, the same period of time in which they were released precisely. I think Sacred 2 was precisely 2008, and Drakensang Online 2010. In the first stream, we did the whole history of the studio behind it. If I remember correctly, it was 2010 for this one and 2008 for Sacred 2. It's absolutely fascinating that two German-developed games in the same period of time covered both opposite sides of the spectrum. I know it's a quite abstract topic, but I wanted to get to it in depth so you can see the difference, because last time we talked about the elemental resistances, but we ran out of time by the end of the stream, people, to establish the comparisons with other games of the isometric action RPG genre, as well as the relationship with the rest of the abstract complexity of the level design and the gameplay mechanics. That is the fact that in this game, how do they handle this element of having the elemental resistances switch actively for the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics? And that leads me to the first conclusion I wanted to get to. First, the abstract complexity overall of Drakensang Online is above average. It's above average due to the fact that a lot of isometric action RPG games, as well as a lot of open world RPG games, I will cite the case of Borderlands as I did some hours ago, precisely because of how evident it is. In a direct comparison, people, Borderlands only uses the elemental system offensively. Your weapon determines the type of damage that you deal, you switch your weapons, and that switches the elemental type of damage, just like in Drakensang Online. In that case, the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics is affected by an active elemental system. You switch the weapon, you switch the type of damage, okay? And you have to actively switch the weapons, depending on the boss. But in Borderlands, you don't have a passive elemental resistances in that sense. You only have one... you only have a shield and your health bar. Nothing else in that sense. Now, let's get to the case of Titan Quest, as I said, Diablo, Torchlight, any of the other isometric action RPG games. You have passive elemental resistances, and then, except Titan Quest, that I think it's the same as this one, in the rest of them, the elemental type of damage that you deal is determined by the weapon. It's determined by the weapon rather than rather than your abilities. I think only, and even in Titan Quest, then we'll need to check it to see if I'm right or wrong, because it's been a while since I played it. So in that sense, if there's one thing this game does right, is the active portion of the elemental system of the gameplay mechanics. Why? Because it forces the player to constantly switch the source of damage, like that. To constantly switch the source of damage. Because of the abilities that he executes, rather than the weapons that he has, or that he's using. Okay, people. So, the first conclusion, the abstract complexity of Drakensang Online is above average in terms of the gameplay mechanics, because of what I said, because the active portion of the gameplay mechanics forces the player to actively switch the type of elemental damage that he deals constantly. And the second conclusion is that it's the exact opposite of Sacred 2. The exact opposite of Sacred 2, in that sense. Because Sacred 2 has an active system in the defensive portion of the gameplay mechanics. You have to actively switch your elemental resistances in that sense. So yeah, pretty much that's the thing. So I wanted to get to those conclusions. So rejoice that the abstract complexity of this game, I can see why a lot of you people love it, precisely because of that. Because the fact that it forces you to actively switch your elemental resistances in the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics, it adds an extra layer of abstract complexity that definitely is quite positive. In terms of innovation, I will check it if it's in Titan Quest. If the source of the damage is determined by the weapon or the abilities, but I bet it will be by the weapon, I think, if I remember correctly. In that sense, if that's the case, then this is a unique case in terms of the source of the active system of the offensive portion of the game mechanic. But well, as I said, above average abstract complexity due to the fact that it uses the elemental system defensively and offensively, and in the case of the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics, it's used actively. So even better. Even better, because it forces the player to be on his toes, like this. It forces the player to be on his toes. And that always increases the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics in that sense. Okay, people. The guidance pass to next quest couldn't be found. No, but I still need one more, huh? I need to destroy one more generator, people. I need to destroy one more generator, I think, yeah? Okay, so that's the topic of analysis I wanted to pretty much cover today. Now, let me see. Hold on a second. There we go. Perfect. Now, I think in terms of RTS games, well, I replied to District back at the beginning, just in case you're watching it as a YouTube bod. Then the rest of the RTS games that I covered, in that sense, Armies of Exigo, I was looking back, I was quite harsh with the qualification. I would highly suggest anyone watching, if you like RTS games, Armies of Exigo. In that sense, it's like Warcraft 3. So yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it's a genre that I said, as I said, it's absolutely amazing and gorgeous. But it has the phenomenon, District, in case you are watching this as a YouTube bod, as a Twitch bod, or whatever, as a bod, anyone. It's a genre that has, I designed, let's say, the theory of the black hole with the genre that it absorbs. It's a genre in which that absorbs non-popular games. It's like the YouTube algorithm, that it doesn't recommend non-popular channels in that sense. The RTS genre is, I feel, it's pretty much the same, unless the game is 100% is 100% famous, then it's a huge problem, because then people don't the black hole that is Age of Empires 2, StarCraft 2 and Warcraft, it absorbs them and they are completely unknown and no one ever plays them, and because it's such a mechanic genre, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's the thing, and it absorbs everything, and it's way too much esports driven. In that sense, we don't get good single player real-time strategy games. I think that the person who develops a good single player real-time strategy game with a campaign similar in quality to Warcraft 3 will hit a gold mine, honestly, because there's a lot of untapped potential in that market, without a doubt. What generators? Oh yes, of course. Good job. I hope you destroyed all of them. This is going to sound crazy, but I saw an eye glowing in the darkness. It was watching me, and then I heard a strange voice whisper. What would Fergon have to say? I just have one question. Who is Fergon? Speak to Fireside in Andrakash. Alright, now we have to go back, people. No way around it. Tell them again. Speak them again. In Andrakash. Yeah. Everything in Andrakash. I hope the fast travel sends me back to the correct city. I hope it sends me back to the correct city, in that sense. No, it sent me back to King's Hill. Andrakash. There we go. Let's go. That worked. Let me drink a bit of water, people. One sec. As it travels there. Anyways, it has to load everything. Alrighty. Alrighty, people. We'll be able to... So yeah, I rounded up the quests quite well. We could do both of them like this. We should be close to a boss fight. I mean, we've already cleared a lot of areas by now. Gavash Jeweler. Talked about the dwarves and machines. They're doing what with my beautiful gems? They are liquefying them? Someone pinch me. This has got to be a bad dream. I'm not feeling well. I should probably sit down. Can you give me a minute to myself? Tell Rakorus what you've learned. Okay. Have you heard? That friendly young hero destroyed the crystal transformer in Stalgard. Pretty impressive, right? Give him my regards if you see him. You know what this means, Norm? We finally have time to focus all of our energy on uncovering conspiracies. Hey, this Rakoros, I've just realized, doesn't it feel like a copy of Master Rakorium from the first game that we played, people? You remember the crazy mage? That was an important element of the gameplay mechanics. They changed the name, but he looks pretty much the same. They kept the characters. That's cute from the first game, from the offline game. Though they had to change some names. Fergon have mercy. The Dark Dwarves have betrayed the Lord of Fire more than I ever imagined. We have to find out why the dragons built these machines before the tides of war turned in their favor. I think the answer may lie in their idols. The unholy dragon idol in the heart of the fortress is key to the Dark Dwarves' plan. You must enter the fortress and find out what role it plays. Be careful, my friend. I feel the presence of the dragon. Oh, we are fighting a dragon. Like in the first Drakensang, we're fighting a dragon. Would you look at that? Any other main quest that I have to finish? That one, I see one more. Argasha, balance of power. All the reports we've heard indicate the enemy is growing stronger. I need to find out how that happened. My gut tells me the Longhelms have fine-tuned their armor, and I need you to gather some pieces from Stalgard to see if I'm right. Perfect. In Stalgard, right? Okay, good. Good, we should be able to proceed. I can skip that zone, or what? Or was it in Stalgard? Was it Stalgard? I think it was, pretty much. Let me see. Alright, now I have to cross the map. No worries, it's more farming for me. I need it. Anyways, I'll make my way to there manually. I mean, it's all experience for me that I will require eventually, I guess. So yeah. Alright, since we've already covered the topic of analysis for today, we can just chill. Pretty much. But that's the case, people. As I've said. Pretty much the idea is that the active portion of the gameplay mechanics is quite fascinating. How the abilities determine the type of elemental damage. Oh, damn it. There should be an option to let you kind of like move and mount at the same time. Mm-hmm. Let's go. I know I have to go to the other one. But this was the last city. Ah, okay, you have to go through. Hey, well, it's another player. This one. Here. Here. Here, 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 here. We have to enter the city. I smell boss fight, people. I smell boss fight. With a dragon, nonetheless. I smell freaking boss fight. Yeah, there's no point really teleporting when you can round them up here and you can even avoid the maps. Yeah, maybe if you have a lot of money and you don't care, whatever. But I want to expand that stupid inventory. In that sense. And I'll probably need money for that shit. Okay. What's this? Here? The objective should be here. Come on, don't lie to me, game. Don't lie to me. The objective says that it should be here. Uh-huh. Pieces of armor found. There we go. So I see that the main problem with this game that a lot of people have is the experience so far. It's the experience so far that is way too grindy for most people. Bring the piece of armor to a garage carpet. Yeah, I'm not doing this shit again. Sorry. Ah, well, I could use the teleport system, but no. Here. First, let's kill dragons since we're here now. Let's do that, people. Then in the last streams, well, if we're getting to the end of the story, I guess, I need to talk about the quality of the writing of the story and everything. I see that the problem that most people have with this game is the relatively low experience if you don't have a friend to farm like that. If you don't have a friend to farm like that. It's absolutely crazy. The experience rating, sorry, pacing at which you go, more or less, that's the thing. So yeah, I get it. But still, as I've said, it's the equivalent of doing several difficulties that was quite perfectly timed. It's the same as doing the several difficulties in most of Lineage Metaphysical RPG games like Diablo or Titan Quest, if you think about it, people. Like this one is only one. It's only one run of the main story difficulty. But it's much more grindy. In that sense, it also, well, it's like Path of Exile wasn't that grindy in that sense. That's why I would recommend it to anyone. Path of Exile, but yeah. In that sense, Path of Exile was less grindy, if you ask me. In that sense. Yeah. Yeah, if I had to say, Path of Exile wasn't that that grinding comparison, more or less. It wasn't that grindy at all. See, for example, this one is resistant to frost damage, and now with the Guardian I can deal fire damage, and he killed it in one blow, pretty much. Path of Exile wasn't that grindy in comparison, huh? If I had to think about it in that sense. Alright, I have to wait for that. Let's do that. I wonder what determines your energy regeneration in this game, if you can switch it. There, you take care of them, and I take care of this one. The smaller ones, and these ones are another problem, and this one another one. There you go. That should do it. And this one didn't block the attack, even though it was the same mob, pretty much. That's weird. Good. Now some fire damage, if you don't mind. That should do it. There we're combining everything. Good. That's a huge mob. There we go. Armor broken. Fire damage, frost damage, enhanced damage. I think I covered everything pretty much. Nice. There it is, leader of the high priest, blah 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 blah. I wonder what he doesn't have a shield though, huh? He's not a full boss. Uh-huh. There we go. That should be quite powerful. Oh, still, it's taking a beating, huh? Definitely taking a beating, people. Ah, fire. Oh, he had a treasure here. Look at this. Parchment. Ah, yeah. I wonder if by critical value he means... It could be the percentage of damage. In that sense, it could be better. Yeah, the one I have equipped. Okay, yeah. I'll deal with that later. Dragon Idol. Build me a machine that will destroy the world heart. Okay. I think we made it to the end of the map. How do I build you your machine? Ask the impression technicus in fiery... Ah, and there we have the boss. Oh, I smell boss fight, people, huh? I don't think I'll have it if I'll have enough time today. Oh well. Still. Let's do our best. It should be more than enough. Oh, there you are. Yeah, you really don't expect mobs around the character that you have to turn in the quests to, pretty much, in that sense. You generally don't expect that. What do you mean, a machine that will destroy the world heart? The world heart. I don't even know what kind of machine that could be. Yes, dwarves are very good at building and smelting, but I don't understand why we're still using these skills to destroy. Ask about Destiny. Go, Destiny. Ask about Destiny. I was the Technicus foreman of Stalgard and I invented things that snuffed out many lives. I have blood on my hands, that's why I want to go before the court. They'll probably send me to the Recreator, but at least then I'll know if Fargon exists. Fargon, sorry. It's like Flagon from Pokemon, 3rd generation. Okay, so we've got only... I know we have 2 quests. To Agrasha, in Andrakash, and she's also in Andrakash. Let's go back. Hopefully we'll go back to Andrakash now. Could it be? Could it be? Could it be? Could it be, people? Could it be? Could it be? Could it be? Andrakash? Yes, I wasn't sent to King Hill. You've got the armor. Perfect. Give me just a minute and I'll examine it. If it's the armor that's making them so powerful, it should be apparent. Of course it's so clear, they've altered the metal for sorry, for starters. But something about the way it's constructed is off. I'll need the smelter's tools and a casting mold to get to the bottom of things. Can you get those items for me? Okay. From Milk of the Master Smelter in the Recreator. Okay, and the other quest that I had to turn in? It's over there. Kaboom explosive received? What? Kaboom explosive received? What on earth is that? This one has to be the main quest. The Dark Dwarves want to use the machine to destroy the world heart. You must fight your way to the deepest part of the fortress and put an end to this sacrilege before we fall into ruin. Thank you for telling me, and good luck. Whichever machine that is, it has to be wiped out before it destroys the world heart. It's the heart of the Creator, after all. I'm afraid the world will end if it's destroyed. Oh, no pressure, player. No pressure, player. The world will be destroyed if you fail miserably like a noob. People. Alright, since we are already done with the analysis, people, for today, we've already covered the elemental resistance system and everything. We'll just push to the final boss of the zone, if it is there, if I can reach it, that is. So yeah, I presume we are close because we are close to the final area. Yes, you can see there. Though it's still destroy the destructor in teleporter. Maybe it's this one. Let me check. We'll just teleport. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of the shit of having to go through the whole dungeon farming to get to the location. We already have enough money as to deal with that. So let's go. And alright. It's still... Hey, the other objective is there. Perfect. We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Perfect. Magnificent. We can do both of them. As I've said, we've already finished with the main topic of analysis for today, so we'll just chill and do it. In case anyone is watching this as a YouTube VOD, and for whichever reason you are watching the end of it, you can check out the previous part that I'll leave for all of you with the topic that we analyzed. Basically, we talked about the active portion of the offensive gameplay mechanics that the game has, and how it finds an active solution for the abstract complexity of it, basically. We developed the topic quite in depth in a whole hour after I chatted with the rest of the friends here over at the Twitch chat. So basically, that's the idea. Thanks to the 3 followers of today from the bottom of my heart. Then when I finish the stream, I will repeat the messages and everything. So we are up to date with those. There we go. We covered it there perfectly. So yes, basically, as I've said, the active system is quite fascinating. Just so anyone watching this as a YouTube bot has an idea, it's quite fascinating because it's the opposite of Sacred 2, another German-developed isometric action RPG game. Basically, this game uses an active system for the abstract complexity of the elemental system of the gameplay mechanics. There it is. Casting mold. Let me drop something here. This one. Let me destroy this one. There we go. Oh, it's still full. This currency. There we go. Perfect. So basically, that's the idea, people. It's the opposite of Sacred 2. Just like Sacred 2 uses a relic system, as I've said, in which you actively switch the passive defensive elemental resistances of the player. You change them actively with some relics assigned to 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that way you enhance only one resistance that the boss will deal. The crowning achievement of the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics of Drakensang Online is exactly the opposite. Quite an interesting conundrum, because they are both isometric action RPG German-developed games in that sense. In the case of Drakensang Online, the type of elemental damage that you deal is not determined by your weapon, by the weapon that you are carrying. It's determined by the abilities that you activate. For example, the Flame Guardian dealing fire damage, the Frost Wind dealing frost damage, and whatever. And while a lot of reviewers may take these things for granted nowadays, it's a terrible mistake, because they make the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics in that sense. Because, as I've said, in most isometric action RPG games, your damage will be determined passively by the weapon you're carrying, not by the type of ability that you activate in that sense. That gives Drakensang Online an extra layer of abstract complexity in the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics, because it's used actively. I have to actively, sequentially, activate different abilities to switch the source of the type of damage. In most games, you just passively activate the abilities, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much. What was that attack? We'll get to the boss fight, people. We'll get to the boss fight there, and that's, there we go. I think it will be the boss fight. Destroy the Destructor in Teleportarium. I think this is the boss fight. I think we are good to go. Yeah, it has to be the boss fight. Let me finish the other quest. So then, because let's complete them in order. Then this one. Here. Let's finish this one. It's quite interesting that most people, that the problem with the game is the experience. I mean, that's what's this shit? Sorry, people. I hate. I hate. Well, I hate. Well, I despise using consumables unless it's really, really needed. All right, bring the items to Agrasha. Let's do that. So we go in order. Then we can deal with the. Then we can deal with the. With the with the boss. Well then, let's see the tools. Yep, just as I suspected, the tools and casting mold can withstand extremely high temperatures. In fact, the only things that hot, are fire guns, fire, and the fire of the dragon. Surely they wouldn't dare to forge their weapon, their armor in Dragon's Fire, sorry. There we go. I need more information about how the Dark Dwarves process their metal, like how they contain the extremely hot fire. Please help me find out. Oh my gosh, this quest is a slog. In Recreator and Constructarium. Oh. Stalgard, Thundercrest. Why do they use different names for the areas? Go for it. Yeah, let's go. Why do they use different names for the areas? Like for the different zones inside of an area? Like it is absolutely terrible because it confuses the player in that sense. Oh, there they are. Well. Oh, fuck that. No. Don't unmount me. Alright, no, there's only one way to go. Let's just use this. Fuck it. I hate having my screen full of those things. Okay, I found out that with this combo of abilities, with having fire damage here, breaking the armor and then just frost damage there, you can cover most elemental types. Oh, you can cover all groups of mobs. I love how the frost damage is clearly the main one of this skill tree, because it's the only one in which the abilities actually enhance each other like that. That should do it. Alright, we had to inspect some other stuff. Examine. Examine. Examine, not inspect. Ah, and it spawns that mob. Okay, let's kill it. It's spawning. It's not that bad. I mean, the experience system. I know what you're going to tell me, people. Man, Eraser, you are being held by all of your friends on stream. You are not playing the game in that sense as it could, if you were solo off stream. Yeah, no, but it would have stopped me previously. But if I were playing offline, I would be doing all of the side quests, and it's not that bad. I mean, I would farm in an area 1 or 2 levels above me. in a sense, yeah, it would have taken me quite some time because you get stuck at least twice or 3 times in that sense. Oh well. But yeah, what I'm telling you is that it's the equivalent of playing Titan Quest or Torchlight or whatever in several times on different difficulties. Because here you're just completing it once, in that sense. This song is no, if I activate that, the mob will come. There's way too many of them. Ah, they are blocking, they have resistance. Not good. And this is the problem with the build that I'm using. Let me move. Move. I said move. Dead. Shit. My lord. Oh, it sent me there. Activate some essences. 6k. Wow. Wow. 6k essences. Shit. 6k essences. Now I see how they use them. That's why they don't care. Okay, I see. 6k. There's the stupid boss that we fought. We already fought that guy. Sorry, we'll have to find a bit. You'll have to wait a bit for us to find the other one. All right, there. Here. I need to clear this area. Oh, need to. Okay, will do so. Come on, give me fire damage. What? I need some room. I have no room to maneuver. Here. Guardian. Enhanced damage. There we go. Aha, that's what killed me last time. There we go. I wonder if there's a way to increase your mana regeneration. That would be quite useful. I don't think I see any gear that increases your mana regeneration so far. It would have been amazing if the developers had designed a system in which the elemental resistances of the mobs change depending on the elemental damage that you deal. Like for example, you do frost and they are weak against fire or the opposite or whatever, and you do it kind of like twice, like several times. In that sense, we need to do an RTS day then. Dole, Mertz, dog stuff. Okay. What a miracle, my inventory is not full. Okay. Delagracia, what you found out, let's go. We already have the boss fight there, ready, with the other quest. So, let me finish this other one, because it's part of the main... part of the main quest. Report findings. It's just as I expected. The dragons are heating up the dark dwarves' food. But how do they make their steel withstand such incredible temperatures? You should talk to one of the priests of Fergon. Flames of fire allow them to access the ancient wisdom. Operation of you. And news from Stalgard? Speak to Fardosh in Andrakash. Yeah, I am in Andrakash. Okay, let's see. Let's see, people. Let's see. Balance of power. Fergon have mercy. There still is as covenant as the dragon's fire. It's sacrilege, I tell you. Let me have a closer look. Yes, I think I just know the alloy that might be responsible for this. I have an idea. It might not stop them, but it should slow them down. The dark dwarves are binding their steel with the dragon's fire. Thankfully, Fergon has revealed to me how we can disrupt the construction of the war machines. But I'll need your help to pull it off. Inject this potion into the alloy, thereby killing those who produce it. Okay, I've injected Fergon, blah blah, okay. Alright, it's a final quest. That should be it. It's a final quest before the boss fight. Let's do that one, and the boss fight perfectly calculated. Perfectly calculated, people. I'll have half an hour more or less to do that and the boss fight. We'll be able to cover both things. Yeah, there it is. The fact that you have to go back and do this all over again once again is absolutely mind-boggling why they would design this shit like this. In that sense, like, put a teleporter in the middle of the dungeon, I don't know. It's designed so the player farms, I guess? Positive. But well. Also, he appreciates the beauty of the art of dodging. Like this. He's to appreciate the beauty of the art of dodging. Here. Or he learns the art of dodging itself in that sense. So the player learns the art of dodging itself. I don't know why I'm still clicking if I assign the perfect hotkey there for mounting. It's my bad, sorry. It takes me time to get used to hotkeys. What about now? Okay. Should be over here. What do I have to do? Kill tank, pour the favorite potion. Pipelines recreator. Alright, you're the boss. Recreator of pipelines. Okay. What you've done. Tell what you've done. That's it. Let's go then. No, please don't come bothering me. Mobs there. No. Don't come bothering me like that. Let's go. There we go. Well done, young man. That'll give those dark dwarfs what's coming to them. If we continue to poison their alloy, we can weaken their army over time. Can I count on you? On your help? Nope. If it's a side quest. Andrakash wasn't built in a day, young, so In other words, we must remain persistent if we make production. Let's see, in if I said it's a daily quest that we are not doing in that sense. So only the boss remains, people. Perfectly calculated for the end of the stream. We have time. Oh, nice lion there. Okay. Teleportarium, no information. Let's go. Yes. People, boss fight time. And with this I wrap up the stream. Sadly today I arrived 1 hour late, so we'll compensate it next time. Damn it. Boss fight, and if I kill the boss, this is it for today. We'll leave it at 3 hours and something. It'll probably take me some time. Oh my gosh, this scam. Let's go. There we go. Oh, darn it. On it. Darn. There we go. Good, good, good. Shit. Yeah, I'm not doing this again. People, I'm not doing this again. Maybe this one. Just to. Anyways, I'm level 43 and the dragon is going to be level 45 probably. There we go. Okay. Just in case it drops some good. Yeah, mount. Wait, what? What happened to my freaking mount? My mount disappeared? What the fuck? I said this one wasn't a temporary mount. My god, my lord, what was the meaning of that shit? Okay, people, this is it, huh? Boss fight. Possible rewards, blah 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 blah, I don't care. I just care about the experience of going through a boss fight. Nothing like a good boss fight. Nothing like a good boss fight, besides it contains the highest point of difficulty in the game, indeed. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? They have some bosses. Underling. He spawns mobs or what? Ram. Ram? Wait, where's the boss? Wait, the player has to get to the boss. Ram? Security lock. Immune. Alright. Security lock immune. Ram? Okay, so we have to find a way to get through this. Which is the objective? Wait. Which is the objective? Destroy the structure in the teleporterium? Puzzling. There's another one there. There's two of them. Fire damage, perhaps? Okay, we've got a troll quest here. This thing? Ah! The teleportation conjures one ram. Okay. That was simple. Ah, and I have to protect it. Bad move, player. I shouldn't have summoned that. Do they have an aggro meter if I attack them? So they attack me? Yeah, they have an aggro. They have aggro there. Okay. That was simpler than I thought, people. That was simpler than I thought. Don't touch that ram. What now? Steam driver. Okay, state of the gate. Damn it. Shit. No. Hey, I'm about to die. Oh my god. Why is there no sound in the hits? Why is there no sound? Aha, some sneaky mobs on the other side. What's that? Oh, it's bugged. Interesting. It's fucking bugged. Fucking bugged, yeah. The mob. Alright, guess we're done. Alright, silence. There's the boss. Okay. Explosives? Fuck you, explosives. I won't use explosives. I'm way too stubborn for that shit. Alright, boss fight, people. Boss fight time. It can be damaged with bombs. Shit, I destroyed the bombs. What? Shit, I destroyed the bombs, I think. I think I destroyed the bombs. Shit. Oh! Level 45, look at that. New stuff. It's the same, just a bit more blue. Level, this one, the one is level 45. I know it's two-handed. Ah, no, it's two-handed, it's two-handed, no. No, it's two-handed, way too slow. This one was a boosted one, right? 73 now. Okay. I destroyed the bombs. You have to be kidding me. I have to go back and buy more bombs. Or what? Or where do I find them? Don't you drop bombs? There it said explosive or something. Ah, there. There. Ah, I carry the bomb. And it has a timer. The bitch didn't like that. What? You're being targeted. Player, what? What the shit? Do I destroy the generator? What? Well, it's taking damage. Oh shit. Alright, I'm dealing the damage, but what about the other generators? I bet I'll have to do something with them. What now? Quest guidance cannot find any more goals. What? Shit. Shit. Don't I? It would be normal that I would need to destroy other generators. Alright, they are sending some attacks there. I need to be careful. Alright. We may die as we learn the boss fight, but it's alright. Should do it. I mean, the boss is dying. Shit. I need to be careful with those. Come on, the armor should be broken now. Now. It should be lethal. It should be lethal. What about this one? Run for your life. Run. Run. I should fight here because the generator that actually sends that firebolt is actually over there. Like there. Damn it. I'm out of range, right? Like this way I have more time to react to the other balls of fire that... Shit. Well, you keep avoiding my... Destructor regeneration. Okay. And what do I do? Shit. Shit. There we go. Ah, and you also have... Ah, he regenerates health. Interesting. And what do? I carry the shit? And damage a generator. What? He regenerated all health. Let's see. This should be more than enough. What about now? Now I got you right where I wanted. What? What's that? Doesn't look friendly. That shit doesn't look friendly. Yeah. What do? I attack these? I carry the bombs. Ah, it's to the other generator, I bet. Alright, he recovers whole health. This one? Have to destroy this. Alrighty. Do I grab a bomb? And destroy this one? What? Didn't let me. Oh well, to hell with it. Let's just fight. First, let's rule out the evident. Let's first rule out the evident. Shit. Can I keep hitting him as he regenerates health? Or not? I cannot damage that shit. Maybe I cannot DPS the healing? Did they measure that? What did they do? Yep, they did measure that. But how do I damage this thing? With a bomb? Yes, I know, but shit. But when I try to detonate it, the guy... What is this show? The bomb of course explodes. And he recovers the shield. What is this shit? Interesting. I love the gameplay mechanics. I love that they added an extra source of difficulty, but I need to understand. I'll probably have to destroy all the generators. It's not that difficult. So many red thingies, so many red orbs there. So the important thing is damaging the generators. For now. So I grab one of them, and as the guardian distracts the idiot, but I just grabbed the bomb. What's the meaning of this shit? Like, I'm carrying it. Look at that. Oh, whatever. Shit. Interesting. Interesting. Like here. Like that. What? Maybe I have to completely destroy that one instead. I don't know. Maybe that. Damn it. I get damaged as I activate the bomb. Oh my god. Shield broken. Shit. Wait. Can I damage that thing? No. Okay. Now he moves to charge. And I get damaged. Do I destroy this one? What do I do exactly? This one when it's charging? Only the one that is charging? Maybe? Alright, the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics is getting quite interesting, that's for sure. The target means that he's targeting me, I get it. Ah, maybe I have to bring that mob that he spawns to one of the generators instead. Still a bit troll-like, if you ask me. I guess. Like there. Like what? No. No, because otherwise he would send the mob right now. 6 seconds. Maybe I have to do it faster. I don't know, huh? I don't know, nothing indicates that. And there he's going. Maybe I can predict that and grab it and go to the stupid that couldn't have been more exact. And now. Ah, alright, I get it. 5. Is it possible? 3? Alright, it's exact time. Okay, I get it. I get it. Now repeat process. You like the mechanic? I love it, District. I love it. I love what they did here. I'm loving what they did here. I'm loving what they did. Besides, it's the exact time. I don't know how they calculated it. Was saying about RTS games. After you had to go. Armies of Mexico is another great recommendation. If you or Flying Energies liked Warcraft 3. Oh, what's that? That's a new trick that he's got. I know about it. It's like Warcraft. It is the best clone. You played it. Oh well, then you played old school RTS District, old school RTS games. Damn, you would have loved my channel, as it was originally playing RTS games only, but no one ever watched it. I only did RTS games. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's a way too mechanical genre. And then we can do. You play chess? No. My father loves it, but I don't like it because it's turn-based. I like real time. I love real time in that sense. That's why I love real time strategy. I was commenting that it's so sad for me, what the genre, the state of the genre, that I said it's I have the black hole theory that the famous games are the ones that get all of the attention, and then more obscure ones don't get the spotlight that they deserve. It's way too accentuated for the RTS genre, if you ask me. In that map. In that map? You mean you play chess in that map? Ah, I know armies of Exigo also have a chess map. You play chess in that map. Ah, sorry. Yes. I played it, and yeah, there's a level in which you played like that. But could it be the labyrinth? I see the problem now. I got more of those thingies around me. Oof. It turns into a tough foe now. I see. It starts out slow but ends up being quite fast. Besides, it regenerates the shield. It's more difficult to land the damage. But let me check something. If I do this, can't I just wait for my life to regenerate there? I don't think it's going to, because I don't think the generators will arrive at these sense things. Okay, no worries. I can revive. Respawn immediately on the same map. Not available. Damn it. Yeah, not my best. No, let's respawn. No worries. I didn't know it was going to be that fast. You also have a chess map. Yeah, yeah. I saw armies. I played armies of Exigo. I analyzed it. It's the only qualification that I was wrong about it. I would say. I was quite harsh with the game because I was coming from Warcraft 3. It was one of my first analyses, and looking back, I would have awarded it even a higher qualification. Like, it was the best Warcraft 3 clone I had ever seen. In that sense. Is there a way to avoid these guys? Can you damage them? Oh, no way to avoid them. Ah, yeah. They fade after a while. Okay, no worries. There we go. They fade after a while. Alright, they send the attacks clockwise, I think. They send the attacks clockwise. Alright, he has the shield now. Clockwise only. Damn it. They send the attacks only clockwise. I see. It's not that they target you. That one is unavoidable, I think. Those explosive thingies. They're quite unavoidable. If I create a guardian, no, they go straight for the player. There we go. Alright, so I just create a guardian for extra. Damn it. I forgot he still has the shield now. There we go. And he doesn't restore there until the shield is down. Okay. And so the more generators you destroy, the more difficult it is to deal damage more effectively. So first I have to destroy his generator. There. Alrighty, yeah, it's a boss that tests your patience in that sense. Shit, damn it. Well, test your patience. It tests your ability to avoid attacks rather than deal damage. Very well designed. In that sense, I would say it's the best one designed of them all so far because of it. Okay, now the shield is broken. We can break the armor. Go for Guardian. They have a limit also in the range of the blasts. There is a weakness. Oh boy, here they come. Yeah, that's like this attack is like the most the. I cannot imagine playing this as melee, huh? I cannot imagine playing this as melee because at the end of the day, I will need to get closer for most of my attacks, probably. So I don't see how that would work out. I bet there is some kind of contingency measure, but still, at this one, yes, I can kill them. There we go. There we go. Now. What? He's got another fucking generator? What? Is it me or he has another fucking generator over there? Oop. Did he just regenerate health out of nowhere? I didn't see any of the 4 generators there. What was that? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Now we should be good to go. He should have no more sources of health. Now I see that he has an immediate source of health there. Let me break his armor. Come on. I wonder if there's a way to regenerate mana faster. That would massively make the mage much more powerful. What's that? He has like one more area of effect attack. Let's try the other attack. I have one more attack that deals quite a lot of damage. There we go. Well, whatever. I didn't need to. Whoa! It was a heap of old metal. Oh, prices all over the place. Look at that, people. It was almost first try. One try to learn the mechanics, and as I respond on the map to finish the boss fight. Second try. Quite good, quite good, quite good. Amazing boss fight. Amazing influence of the level design and the gameplay mechanics. You could see that without that mechanics, those mechanics, sorry, it would have been much easier to just beat the boss. Here you had a perfect, clear example of a magnificent implementation of level design on the gameplay mechanics. Alright, we are done here with the boss fight. Well, and it was level 45, I think. I was 2 levels below it. Here somehow I got 4k essences of vigor there. So yeah, very, very well. Perfect influence. Great game. Thank you, District. Thank you. By the way, I farmed a bit with another viewer with Phantom, so he could so I could get to the boss fight in that sense. I was mentioned. I was told today by other viewers. I have to ask you, when we farm together, District, how did you make the experience boost get to 2.0? Because with Phantom, today we did the same, another viewer joined and also got the experience pretty much in the same situation as me, and it only got to 1.5, doing pretty much the same. Even so, I did it in Merciless, the Hagavstone Grotto, but it only got to 1.5. Is there something? You had the scroll? Yeah, I applied it. This one, maybe? The Tome of Experience? I think it's the same that I got. Experience scroll. Ah, it has to be that one then. Last time we had Experience Boost 2 plus the event. Okay. Yeah, he was not going to figure it out then. It was 100% from Experience event 2. Okay. I get it. There it is. The event. Okay. Then I will tell him. Okay. So it's one for normally and another one for the event. Okay, that's why it was so fast. Okay. I get it. Otherwise it's 1.5. Okay. The event. Yeah, we were not going to figure it out that easily. The XP event is once per month. So next month we have another one. No, the one about the inventory. I'm sick of the inventory. Just like Flying Energy was in his playthrough or whatever. I am sick of the inventory. This is absolutely draconian. It's absolutely brutal. The inventory. That there was an event for to boost the inventory. Use the stash. I saw it, like the little goblin. It's like the little goblin here. It was more or less over here. This one. This thing. Open locker. 10 slots for the stash? Wow. Smile. District. You know because you played other isometric action RPG games, that is brutal. It's way too low. You can put essences there. Yeah. It's exactly what I'm gonna do. What I want to. And the pet there. Will she remain around me? Yeah. Look at that. Perfect. Damn. And health potion. This thing that I don't know what it may be. I will leave it there. Travel ration to the smuggler's hideout. There we go. You can delete that. Okay. This one serves no purpose. Adventurous chest. Tome of experience, I'll keep it with me. I'll just store... I generally don't like using potions. Unless it's really needed. And besides, I like... Put the tomes there too. The experience tomes. Yeah. Yeah, I would also pick... This one doesn't serve any more purpose, but... This one, the Spirit Stone didn't work in the boss fight there, so yeah. And potions, put them in your slots. You see, you have some circles. Yeah, these ones, I left them with at 1 and 2 for them. Like this. And... this. Where essences are. As well, I have 2 more here. This one is for slot 1, 2, 3, and 4. I organized it like that. More or less, like that. And put it in all 4s, and you have slots. And it frees the inventory, okay. It's the opposite of Diablo 2. It's the opposite of Diablo 2. In that sense, in Diablo 2 they still consume the inventory. This I have to open it. Let me open the stuff first. There we go. This you told me I can destroy it. Let's do so. What? Oh shit. Cannot be destroyed? Right click. Not for sale. Oh, rip. You are telling me the developers didn't thought of a way of destroying this, selling it because it says not for sale. Item can only be used when the event is... No, shit, this is a terrible fool. My lord. It's stuck there. Don't worry, District. Don't worry. Shit. Yeah, and that event is like once per 2 months. And they didn't think about this shit. Now is the time for the legendary phrase, people. What is the phrase? The developers are monkeys. Yes. I think the first emote district, if I ever reach affiliate, will be a D, like a D, the D of Drakensang, then a tail, 2 ears at the sides, and a little face like that. Like it would be fair. It would be fair. We must admit it would be fair, people. It would be fair. Like this, yes, has no justification. Like you cannot sell it, you cannot destroy it, you cannot use it and just let it consume stupidly. And you are telling me that it's 2 months. Developers did 3 days ago a questions and answer, and basically all feedback from community was not possible because they're amateur at coding. Just fire them. No, the questions and answers no. So the feedback was not possible, and they said it because they are amateur at coding, like openly. They said that publicly. I cannot believe it. Like they said public. Oh, of course not. But when you say Not possible. You know it's not. Ah, okay. That was way too much. Okay. I was thinking already. I'm amateur at coding. I'm a piece. I'm shit at coding. Like imagine I code like not games but websites, and I imagine at the job I say I cannot do that website, boss. I'm bad at coding. You know it's that. Damn. Damn. You know what must have happened? The languages that they actually studied were kind of like more modern. They are more modern than the ones that the game has. So they would need to learn the old the old languages. And trust me, for a developer, that's brutal in that sense. But if you get paid, for example, I would do it. If someone told me you have to learn, I don't know, an older language, COBOL or whatever, instead of HTML or React, and I would do it if that's my job. They always have the same excuse. This game was using a very old engine, or is using an old engine, and it's hard for them to code the stuff. Always is the same. Yeah, that's what I thought. They probably studied a lot modern languages, and they were assigned to that. But if, for example, in my case, district, I would tell you if they were paying me good money, definitely I would definitely learn the language. A software developer, that's the ABC of a software developer. You have to be prepared to always be ready to learn new languages if needed for the job. It's the ABC, the most basic. You know what engine this game is using? I'm very curious. Patrick said it. Nebula engine, the same as the first one. I said it in the first stream. They inherited the engine from Drakensang 1, from the original team from Radon Labs, the original German team from Radon Labs. They inherited it from what engine is that? The Nebula is the original, the one. You remember the game that I played? You remember the game that I played? Drakensang 1, precisely. Is the one that the original developers designed for it. Designed for it. Yeah, well, this is that one. Nebula engine is the one that they used. They inherited it and they haven't changed it since. I remember reading that in the first stream. In the first stream that I did. Patrick, I bet, can tell you more about that. He was into that sort of stuff. But it was, I remember he told me, the Nebula engine of the original Drakensang 1 team. The original developers did it. They didn't even do it. They inherited it from Drakensang 1. Hey, why is this so expensive? I didn't loot it from the boosted dungeon I did with Phantom. Why is this so expensive? Armor value or resistances. It's part of an equipment set. Oh well, then I can sell it, I guess. If it's so expensive. But it doesn't boost your damage. Yeah, I like damage. Maybe because it's part of a set. Oh well. Okay. Okay. Tell Farsight in Advocash what you've done. Yeah, in that sense, I can relate to the problem of the developers. Is what happens in the worst case scenario, that you have to learn older technologies, but if they are paid decent money, they should do it. They should do it. I mean, what are you paid for then? What are you paid for then? If you are paid good money, you have to learn the old engine. Yeah, it's that district. It's ABC. Like, for example, if someone told me, you need to learn, I don't know, C++, but I'm paying you money to deal with a certain technology of a website, I would need to do it. Like, I would tell him, well, no, I know HTML, CSS, and react, but if you pay me, I can, I can learn as I code. Is what you have to do. It's a lot of work, but if the developer more or less has a basic experience with other languages, it's not that it's completely different. Some things can change, but it shouldn't be completely different. There should be some some shared points between them. Let's say not shared points. It could be that it's a low level language and it's more mechanical rather than that it's more precisely more imperative rather than declarative. That's the key. It could be that the biggest difference, but I don't think it's the case. You did it. Praise be to Fargon, who surely guided your hand. We've been guarding the secret of the world heart for centuries, and now the dragon wants to destroy it. Why? What does he hope to accomplish? Regarding the RTS games, I did the ultimate PC game genres collection, and there you have pretty much the most obscure ones that you'll ever see. I covered them all. It's a genre that I'm quite passionate about. As I've said, it's sad that it's like a black hole, that genre, because Age of Empires, Warcraft, and Starcraft consume the rest of them without any kind of issue. So yeah, you found the Dragon Secret Project, gigantic machine. Where the gigantic machine that was built to destroy the world heart for Lord Fargon. That machine could have ended life for us all. Murdoch is forever in your debut race. So, based on everything you told me, I'd say Fox was a helpful ally against the Dark Dwarf. He's doing well. I'm counting on you. It's a matter of honor. Okay, we'll sadly have to leave it here because I started a bit later. Do you have a video where you talked about RTS? I have everything, District. I have everything. Everything. You have the. Have you checked hovered with your mouse over the links of the channel? It's because it's all right here. It's like there you have when I talk to the developer of Dungeons and Dragons Dragon Shard. If you hover over the links, and then you have the other one that is Integral History of PC Game Genres. The first one is RTS. The second one I think. The first one is Isometric Action RPG. Oh, I see it. Yeah. You hover with your mouse and there you have everything. You have the review vault with all of the reviews. You have Integral History of PC Game Genres is per genre. And then RTS Dragon Shard is when I talk to the developer, maybe. But it's from 4 years ago. Maybe you should do another one. No, that one is the RTS mechanics talk. Yeah, we have to do another one. Smile. No, it's just that I thought that no one would ever be interested in that. I'll be honest with you. As I said, it's a genre that you could see when I played Spellforce. It's a genre that really, in that case, I can understand why people maybe don't watch your stream whatsoever in that case, because it's a mechanical genre. No, I analyzed a lot. Yeah. It's amazing. It's just that I think people just don't care about the genre anymore. In that sense, no, we could do this because this would be quite unique. Because most people specialize in one game a lot. What I could do is grab one day and do one skirmish on Brutal AI for Age of Empires 2, StarCraft, and Warcraft 3. The same in the same day. Finish them. One brutal skirmish of different ones. In the same day instead. In that sense. Like several. Sounds good. Yes, like do kind of like sequentially one after the other, because people generally, that's the problem with the genre, that it's just people like one game. For example, the person who likes Age of Empires 2, then District, does not play Warcraft 3, and the person who likes Warcraft 3 does not play StarCraft 2. So that way I will kind of like prove that the inherent gameplay mechanics are amazing regardless of the esports scene and all of that shit that I think ruined the genre a lot. Because I think, I mentioned it before, I think the person who designs an RTS modernly with a decent campaign, with a decent single player campaign, and then some. There's a reason why the tower defense aspect is so successful nowadays instead. With a decent tower defense aspect, with a decent skirmish mode, the person is sitting on a gold mine. Because it's a market that they all care about the multiplayer, and there's a lot of people who clearly would play the campaign in that sense. Mm. Also, here there's something I wanted to show you. If you're still there, look at this. I showed this to my viewers some years ago. This is my first video game. I still have it here. This is my first video game. I had it lying around there. I wanted to show it to you. This is my first video game. I still have it here. It still works. That I have the disc already here. Alright, people. Today we analyzed the abstract complexity of the elemental system of Drakensang Online, and I highlighted as the most positive aspect the fact that in this game the elemental system in the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics is used offensively. Whoa, yeah, that surprised you, this straight. Yes, it's still my first video game. Not only is my first video game, it's one of my first possessions, and I still have it with me. It's one of my first possessions as well. So yeah, I keep it there. Okay. So for today, people, the conclusion that I wanted to highlight, just wait for the next boss. For the next boss will be insane. After this one, if I consult the map, where's the next place I have to go? Shit, what the fuck? Please, what's that? Where's the next place I have to go? Because I'm kind of like at the end of the world here. Just so I am oriented. You will go into Atlantis. To Atlantis, okay. So from here, okay, the next one should be this one. Okay. Okay, so from here, the next one, yeah, because it's not connecting the land. Okay, perfect district. So I know I more or less have to go over here. Maybe next Tuesday I will log in a bit before to find how to get there. That's a key. Thank you, district. Okay, so we're going to Atlantis next time. I bet if I finish the quest, it should tell me where, more or less. Okay, people, for today, the conclusion is that the most positive aspect I've found about the gameplay mechanics, you still need to finish quests here. Yeah, okay. I don't see any main quests, huh, though. I don't see any of them yellow. I have to finish this one only. Probably. It has to be this one, huh? I bet. Okay, but as a conclusion, yeah. The yellow one. Perfect, this one. Okay, so we'll finish that one and get there. People, the conclusion I wanted to get to today before we go, of course, 6 out of 6. Perfect. Perfect, it's the last phase, so I'll leave it there ready to go. The conclusion I wanted to say is that this game is the exact opposite case when compared to Sacred 2. Why? Because Sacred 2, thumbs up, district, always thank you from the bottom of my heart for visiting, you, Phantom, and now I will say all of the thanks once I get to the ending. But first, the conclusion. This game uses the exact opposite system compared to Sacred 2. Both German productions, both isometric action RPG, both released in the same window, in the same period of time. I wanted to highlight that this game, the source of the elemental damage is active. The offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics is active, which is quite special and the most positive trait I've seen so far that impressed me. Why? Because that enhances the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics. In Sacred 2, remember what we did last year, people. You activated different relics, and that would actively change your elemental resistances. In this game, your elemental resistances are static, they are passive, determined by gear, but on the other hand, your attacks, the elemental type of your attacks, is determined not by your weapon, like in most isometric action RPG games, but the source of the elemental type is the ability itself. The ability itself. That makes 50% of the gameplay mechanics have a high abstract complexity, because you have to constantly change the type of damage that you deal. So, just like I praised Sacred 2 last year, with its active defensive portion of the gameplay mechanics, ironically, Drakensang Online has an active offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics. So in that sense, it has a higher average abstract complexity compared to most isometric action RPG games in general. Think about Diablo 2, think about Titan Quest, then we need to play Titan Quest to see the source of the elemental damage, because I'm not sure if it's the weapon or the abilities. I think it was the weapons, though, as I've been saying. Torso, in all of those games, the type of elemental damage that you deal, the offensive portion of the gameplay mechanics, it's passively executed through the weapon, not actively executed through the abilities. So that's a quite positive trait I wanted to highlight. Alright, with that said, thank you from the bottom of my heart. District, thanks to the 3 new followers of the channel, thanks to Phantom, of course, for helping me farm today, to Flying Energies, and to Patrick as well for dropping by the stream. Thanks to the 3 new followers, thanks to Jakub the Ice King, to PH1 PPSE, and 000 Emparador, that I couldn't see any message in chat, but in case you are lurking, hope it was enjoyable for you as well. People, it's been my pleasure. See you all on Thursday. We have to finish Star Wars The Republic. Sorry, District, I couldn't finish it. I know that you'd love me to play Drakensang more, but we'll have time. We'll have time. Don't worry. And then I will grab some other isometric action RPG games to kind of like do recommendations for all of you, so you have alternatives, because I see a lot of people asking for alternatives to this one. So yeah, pretty much. Goodbye, District. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to you and anyone else who might have taken the time to watch this as a YouTube VOD or a Twitch VOD in the future. Bye bye, people. Have a great week. Bye bye.